Hello, hi, my name is Godfrey Mo, my name is Flowcash, my name is Hashtag, my name is Wanamutswana, my name is whatever, man. Welcome to my HTML tutorials. Today I want to talk about a few tags in CSS which will help you out there. How did I your coding? I'm going to talk about margin, padding, float, height, and width. So let me quickly dash to my Notepad+, and then I'm going to do that. Let me create my basic sample HTML syntax. Let's put in a title, call it sample, and then later on I'm gonna link this to a style sheet which I'm gonna name CSS. So I'm gonna name main.css, and then in here I'm gonna have a body. Inside that body I'm gonna have two divs. Div sample with a div, it's gonna have a class sample1, and then another div which is gonna have a sample div2 as its class, like that. If I refresh this and reload it on the browser, nothing is gonna happen, nothing's gonna show because I have written nothing in here. So I'm gonna quickly dash to my CSS where I could play around with these sample1 and sample2. I'm gonna give them, it's a class, so we need a class descriptor. Sample that. I'm gonna give it a border just so that we can see it. Make it 1 pixel, solid red, and then once again that red has nothing to do with politics. Sample 2. I'm gonna give it a border again. 1 pixel, solid green. Alright, cool. So if I refresh, if I open this on the browser and then I refresh, see what happens. I get a green line. It looks like it's alone, but it's not actually alone. Actually it is alone because sample1 is not referenced properly. But then let's do that and then refresh. It looks like there's two red lines, the green one and a red one, but they're not actually lines, they're divs. They are containers. It's just that they don't have a height nor a width. That is why they display the way they do. Let me put this side by side so that you can see. That is why they display the way they do. They do not have a height nor a width. Alright, so I'm gonna give sample div 2. I'm gonna give sample div 1 a height so that I demonstrate how height works. Height 400 pixels, and I'm not going to give it a width yet. I'm just going to give it a height 400 pixels, so let it be auto, and then come here, refresh. The red one just got a height, so it pulled away from the green one here. Now the green one is the one that looks like it's just a line. That's only because it does not have a height. Alright, so if I give it a height, if I come here and give it a height, give it 400 pixels as well. Or rather, let me give it 3 since it's inside. 300 pixels. Come back here, refresh. See, the green line just got a height of its own, so it just pulled away from the top as well. Alright. So height is the distance from the top to the bottom. Alright, vertically, and then width would obviously be the distance from the left to the right or horizontally. I'm gonna make that 600 pixels for sample div 1 and then refresh. There you go. Sample div 1 is now 600 pixels. It does not take all the space that was available for it. Alright, that is why it seems like it has shortened a little bit. And the reason why sample div 2 seems to follow wherever sample, if I say 300 pixels for this, watch how sample div 1, sample div 2 also decrease with sample div 1. Why? Because sample div 2 does not have a width of its own, so it depends on sample div 1. It automatically takes the width, yeah, sample div 2. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna further reduce it. I don't know if you guys heard me, but I hope you did. I'm gonna further reduce it. Come back here, refresh. You see, it takes up only the space there, sample div 1, because it is the parent container, it is the mother container. So I'll take that back to 700 pixels, and then we can start now demonstrating something else. I want to talk about margin from here. Let me give this one a width of its own, give it 500 pixels so that it stays within the regions of this one, so that I can see it. There we go. Now the sample div 1, that's sample div 2 in green. Alright, so I want to demonstrate margin. Margin is the distance between an element and other elements outside of that element at hand. Alright, what I'm simply saying is margin is the distance around an element, outside an element and around it. Okay, so right now this margin, the margin for sample div 2 is auto, so it's 0 0. If I come back here and then I give it a margin takes up, has 4 different elements to it, 4 different attributes. You can have margin top, left, bottom, right. Those work from the top in a clockwise manner, so it's gonna be top, right, bottom, left. If I say margin top, and then let me just quickly do that so that I can demonstrate all the 4 at once. I'm gonna have margin top and then margin right, that's how it moves. I'm gonna have margin bottom and then I would have margin left. Alright, if I give this margin top, let me say 10 pixels, margin right 15 pixels, so that it becomes slightly bigger, margin, or rather let me just give it 60 pixels so that you can see the vast difference. From the bottom I'll say let it be 20 pixels, from the left let it be 1 pixel, so that you see the vast contrast around this. And then I hit refresh. You see that it moved a little bit from here. This is the value I gave for margin top. It was 10 pixels, right? So we let it be just 10 pixels from the top, and then this is 60 pixels from the right. From the bottom I said 20 pixels from the bottom. If I was to increase that and make it maybe 70, you'll see that it doesn't increase because it's gonna have to increase the parent. Okay, but it's fine. It's fine. Look at the 1 pixel on the left right there. If I was to increase that to 10 pixels, check what happens. It increases. Alright, so margin is the distance around an element, whereas padding is the distance within an element. Now that I've demonstrated margin, in the next video I will quickly demonstrate padding so that you can see the difference between the two. Alright, I hope to see you in my next video.